Hey everybody, welcome back to Zoo Tycoon 2. We're back in the creative zoo. I've been receiving a lot of support on the first video that's gone out, so I'm very happy to see that. Make sure you guys comment down below with what animals you want to see actually in the zoo, because I kind of want to leave that up to you guys, I guess. I don't want to make the judgment call there. So what are we doing today? You can see I did a little bit of off-camera work working on the waterfall. I kind of wanted to expand it out into that region and make it just a little bit more of a focal point in this area of the zoo. So we added in like a little triple falls area, and I was struggling to get it how I wanted it, and I knew that it was going to take me some time, so I figured I'd just do it off camera, and that would be easier. So here we're working on setting up the pathing for our tropical rainforest area, and as I'm building this, I'm thinking to myself, it would actually be pretty cool if we did this entire thing kind of indoors, underneath a overhanging canopy type of thing. So that's probably what I'm going to do in the next episode. If you guys really don't like it, maybe we can go back and change it, but let me know down below what you think about that. I have to record these in advance because I'm going to be gone, so I can't just kind of wait for your guys' opinion on it before I do the next one. I just kind of have to go with it, so my apologies in advance if you disagree with that thinking and think that I should do something else. Frankly, I really can't care about it right now. So what we're doing right now is I want to make this was before I had the idea of doing this all underneath a elevated roof kind of setup. So we're making a little rock overhang, and this is still going to look really good if we add the roof in, but it does look pretty neat just doing it here right now. So basically what we're doing, adding an elevated path over the buildings that we wanted to have there. We have a hot dog stand, a coffee shop, and a cotton candy, and we're basically going to then put the rocks on the little jutted out overhang like you're seeing right here, and it's gonna kind of give a vision like the rock is jutting out and those little vendors are in a cave kind of, and it's gonna look really neat. The only problem is it's not gonna look as great when we have the full overhang going, because we may have to edit stuff up a little bit and change things up. But I still think this was a nice addition. Anyway, just because it's creative and not something that is normally done in the game. And that's kind of what I want to focus this entire series on, is doing stuff that people just really have not seen in Zoo Tycoon before. So you can kind of see how that is right there. I don't like how it's not as full in the back, so I'm trying to add more rocks in, but Zoo Tycoon 2, even with mods and hacks and exploits, it's a little bit, difficult to get those rocks placed in there, so I kind of just give up. I did want to add in a bathroom though, and obviously we want to make sure that the rocks don't, cover up the entrance to the bathroom. Even though the people glitch through it, it's not the most realistic thing in the world. So we're just going to add another little overhang. It's easy as that. Add more rocks, and look at that. It's basically all taken care of. All it needs is more supports and rocks like we've been putting in everywhere. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. I wanted to make this feel like, you're entering through the cave and then entering into a tropical rainforest. And in a way, I kind of like that you'll be exiting the cave and being inside. I'm from Cleveland. Those of you that are also, from Cleveland or have at least been to the Cleveland Zoo, you would know that our rainforest area is completely indoors. And I kind of took inspiration from that in my thinking here. So now we want to work on getting this area set up so we can then expand out further. I'm just adding in a path that goes by our little river, and then I'm going to work on getting in an elevated path to get a little bridge over the water. Now, I'm kind of struggling to get this how I originally envisioned it, because I wanted to have a kind of angled elevated path, but the angles are a little messy with how they get set up. So it was kind of difficult to get this how I truly wanted it, and we're going to end up scratching this entire setup that I just did, because I just think it looks terrible. And I think you guys can kind of agree with that. So we're going to end up going with a perpendicular path here, just doing it at a straight 90-degree angle going across the river. And while it's not originally what I had planned, sometimes you got to change your plans in order to make things really look as nice as possible. So we are going to change that up a little bit, and you'll see that shortly. We are going to end up working more on the waterfalls. You can see I add in another one here just to add more of this Niagara Falls setup that we got going on here. And I think that it does add a little bit of extra scenery to the place. I know that when I'm walking around a zoo or just a scenic area, I like having stuff to look at all angles. And since we may not have exhibits going on over there, you might as well have the beautiful waterfalls to look at and have nice nature scenery going on to really, give people a feeling like they're in a natural place, which is what a zoo should be. It shouldn't just be a bunch of animals in cages. So I extended the water out to the path because I kind of wanted to keep with this idea of having the river run right by the path. And we'll probably make it so that any paths that run alongside on the right over there where we just were will also be directly up against the river. So we're just adding in a fence, very basic fence, nothing too gaudy, too big, just a very simple wooden fence so that we can have a little bit of an outline to our area. And then here I'm just simply cutting the water a little bit more, making the fence, have some rocks on it, makes it look a little bit more realistic, adding some rocks on the riverbed. And then from here, it's really just a lot of rock placement, if I'm being honest with you, because we want to make sure that this looks as realistic and full as possible. And frankly, I just love doing the detailing with these rocks. I don't know why. It's very satisfying to just have the rocks fit exactly how you want them. If I knew what the download link was for you guys to get these rocks, I would tell you, but frankly, I just don't remember. It's been a while since I have downloaded all these mods and done stuff. So here we're just adding more rocks to our waterfall type area, and that looks a little unrealistic, but we may go back and fix some stuff there. For some reason, this rock liked to stretch, and I was kind of taking advantage of it so that we can make a lot more rocks in a small amount of space, and it kind of looks okay as so, and I'm happy with it. Why wouldn't I be? So really, just a lot of rock placement. Frankly, that's basically all I do for the rest of this video. Just more advice if you're coming in on the third video and didn't watch the first one where we placed a lot of rocks as well. Just make sure you're varying the rock size. Make sure you're rotating them every once in a while. You don't want things to look unrealistic and like they're in a set pattern. You want it to look random. Use a lot of different rocks. Use a lot of different plants and trees and stuff in these areas as well. It won't look as good. It may look good, it won't look as good if you don't kind of switch things up a little bit. And if you don't find the perfect rock on the first try, delete it. That's what I did right there. I didn't like how that looked. Get rid of that and try again. So over here, we're just going to make a little scenic area. And this is kind of, when you're working with tropical rainforest, you want it to be dense. You want to have as many trees and plants as you can in one area. And it's going to be really annoying to actually make the exhibits for these because I'm going to have to be placing a lot of plants, a lot of rocks and trees and stuff like that. But you can kind of see I'm just kind of spamming stuff in here. And this is stuff you couldn't do without the exploits and hacks that are available for Zoo Tycoon 2, because you can't really have the objects clip into each other because of the set grid that is in the game. But you can see that looks nice and full and really works pretty well. So I'm adding in a zoo map. In real life, you see zoo maps basically on every corner of the zoo. So I want to make sure that this is realistic. Add in some benches, add in some street light torch kind of things. And that's kind of going to do it for this video. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what animals you want to see in this area. And I will try to get your demands met. I don't want to do the monkeys because once again, we're going to make Monkey Island. So any tropical rainforests that aren't monkeys is my kind of disclaimer. So thanks so much for watching, and thanks for the support. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.